I've had great interest in prophecy since I was young, but I only started sharing through my videos since late 2015. I've always felt fascinated about Nostradamus and his prophecies, but my urge to decode only started a few days ago. Today I found an important message that I must share with you. It is an old Nostradamus prophecy that I feel has been given new meanings after events happened today. I started my morning by checking the news headlines. 3 headlines caught my attention. On December 11th, 2016, the first is the 38 people killed in the Istanbul explosions. The second breaking news was a blast at a Cairo cathedral that killed at least 25 people. Then 50 people were killed in a church collapse in Lagos, Nigeria. You may see these as no big deals because bombing and attacks are now part of our daily lives, especially in Turkey. It will probably be big news if there is a month without attacks. But these events seemed very intriguing, as I remember reading something about them which could be related to a quatrain written 400 years ago. In quatrain 525, it reads, "The air prince Mars, Sun, Venus, Leo, the rule of the church will succumb by sea. Towards Persia, very nearly 1,000,000 men, the true serpent will invade Byzantium and Egypt." Byzantium is modern-day Istanbul. Attacks in Cairo happened in a Coptic church. Copts are native Egyptian Christians, a minority group that makes up about 10 to 20% of Egypt's population. In recent years, Egyptian government's failure to protect the Coptic people has led to the abduction and disappearance of many Coptic Christian women. While the collapse of the church in Nigeria with 50 people is the literal reenactment of the word succumb. Please note that both Lagos, Nigeria, and Cairo are both close by the sea. Isn't that an alarm loud and clear? And now let's take a look at today's planetary map. As you can see on December the 11th, 2016, Mars, Venus, the Sun, and the constellation Leo are lined up in a straight line. Together with the 3 terrible news reports that happened today, I have to think this quatrain contains a warning for us now. A warning? What could the warning be? We already had 2 terror attacks, 2 major casualty events involving churches, and as stated in the first line, the Arab involvement. What other messages can this quatrain hold? I believe the first warning is about the dangerous period now and also around October 2017. Starting around 11/23/2016, Mars, Venus, the Sun, and Leo aligned in a straight line. We've had so many problems since the beginning of this holiday season. But in October 2017, Mars, Venus, the Sun, and Leo again line up in a straight line. But this time, Mars and Venus are in the Leo constellation. Maybe that is when the real problem will come. The second warning is about the church. I think the 2 incidents today are just warning signs to get our attention. The real message is about the further destruction of the Coptic faith. The attacks on Coptics will continue and get worse, while the Vatican may also face some serious troubles. But this quatrain may also contain ISIS terror warnings. The true serpent will invade Byzantium and Egypt. This can mean Egypt and Turkey will have more and worse ISIS attacks. Well, the next sentence, towards Persia, very nearly 1,000,000 men, may mean a few things. A major earthquake or natural disaster can affect millions. The refugee crisis will make its way to Iran, destabilizing further the area and causing more problems in the Arab world. A pro-ISIS group may be gaining power in Iran, and since Persia is modern-day Iran, I know this is a warning about Iran. What do you think will happen? Although most people do not believe Nostradamus' quatrains follow any grouping patterns, I thought I found proof of possible clusters of related quatrains and released my findings in my previous video, Decoding Nostradamus, Revolutions, Timelines. Following the same logic, I think the next 5 quatrains are related and should be looked at together. 5:26, quote, "The slavish people, through luck in war, will become elevated to a very high degree. They will change their prince, one born a provincial, an army raised in the mountains to pass over the sea." I think this describes the rise of ISIS. ISIL, aka ISIS, started in 1999. A satellite group of al-Qaeda from 2003 invasion of Iraq by Western forces. In 2014, it captured key cities and forced the Iraqi government out of western Iraq. While in Syria, it attacked both government forces and opposition factions. By December 2015, the Islamic State ranged over vast landlocked territories in western Iraq and eastern Syria. With a population estimated at up to 8 million people, ISIS now operates in 18 countries across the world. Operational groups are found in Afghanistan and Pakistan, while inspired groups are found in Mali, Egypt, Somalia, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and the Philippines. The untrained poor people got their breaks and weapons through the Iraqi war. Within just a few years, they are now the most feared and active terror group. In Syria, they fight against the rebels and the Assad regime. In Iraq, they fight with the Iraqi government forces, the Kurds, the Yazidis, and anyone there. Remember how they executed Chinese, Japanese? Basically anyone. Their war in Syria and Iraq not only brings upon us the unbearable sadness, but also a huge refugee problem, which is getting worse day by day. Here comes the worst part. An army raised in the mountains to pass over the sea. This means the worst has yet to come. The next quatrain, 5:27, quote, "Through fire and arms not far from the Black Sea, he will come from Persia to occupy Trebizond, Pharos, Mytilene to tremble, the sun joyful, the Adriatic Sea covered with Arab blood." Please note that Trebizond is the modern-day Turkey, while Persia is Iran. Turkey is already being bombarded with terror attacks. Refugees have flocked its border with Syria, and its government is being attacked from all sides. While Iran may also be under the ISIS threat soon, a chaotic Iran will shake the Middle East off its foundation. An Adriatic Sea covered with Arab blood seems to be a horrible scene that may show up in the not-so-distant horizon. Quatrain 5:28 further describes the cruelty of war, quote, "His arm hung and leg bound, face pale, dagger hidden in his bosom, 3 who will be sworn in the fray. Against the great one of Genoa will the steel be unleashed." Assad, the Syrian president, is being charged as a war criminal. But Unlike the previous wars, this war is no longer about good guys and bad guys. The Genoa Treaty is not being followed by either party. What they follow is more like genocide. We know how cruel and violent ISIS is, but how about ISIS's enemy? The Assad regime and the rebel against Assad. Do some web searches and you will find that they are not much better. Quatrain 5:29 seems to paint a dark picture for the future. Quote, "Liberty will not be recovered. A proud, villainous, wicked black one will occupy it. When the matter of the bridge will be opened, the Republic of Venice vexed by the Danube." The Liberty people long for what will not be recovered, while a wicked black one will rise. The outlook seems depressing, right? Then look carefully on the next two sentences. When the matter of the bridge will be opened, the Republic of Venice vexed by the Danube. I think this is another warning for Turkey. Turkey is the bridge between Europe and Asia. After crossing over this land bridge, the next natural divider is the Danube River. To me, it is another warning about the ever-increasing terror threats. And I am more than sure it means the troubles in Turkey have just begun. The next quatrain, 5:30, led me to find some really interesting information. Quote, "All around the great city, soldiers will be lodged throughout the fields and towns. To give the assault, Paris, Roman sighted. Then upon the bridge, great pillage will be carried out." When I saw this quatrain, I thought it sounded like the US-led invasion of Iraq, but I know France was totally against it. So I checked on Italy. I found Italy was against the war with Iraq and even secured Iraq's acceptance on terms of Saddam's exile. And then when the US refused the terms and gave Saddam 48 hours to leave, they got Iraq to agree on that too. But no one expected the US would start bombing before the deadline expired. So Italy went in with the US on the Iraq war. Based on that, I felt this quatrain must not be about the 2003 Iraq invasion, as France and Italy definitely did not incite the assault. If not for that, what is hidden in this message? I think the key lies in the word bridge. A bridge can mean anything, but when bridge was mentioned in the quatrain before this one, the bridge in this quatrain may mean the same thing. Turkey. What I think is a warning about conflicts involving Turkey. Since Turkey is a NATO country, actions involving NATO may be carried out. But I think Turkey may soon be under martial law, our military control. I think this quatrain 5:30 marks the end of this cluster of warnings. What do you think? This is Ken Peters. Thank you for watching.